Welcome back to Wednesdays with Whitmore. This week I want to tell you a little bit about my stud kit and just a few tips about studs. I have my stud kit here, which is actually kind of small. I have to cram things in here, so I'm a little bit scared it's going to just explode open. Might suggest having a little bit bigger one. Right, some of the things that are important to have in your stud kit are, one of my favorite tools is this safety spin tap that you can get at most event tack shops. I think I actually got this one at Top Rail Tack, and it's rubber and squishy on the bottom so that if your horse puts their foot down when you are spinning the threads out of his shoe, then they're not going to like twist an ankle or anything. It's just going to squish and be a nice solid bottom. Of course you hope they don't step down on it, but if they do, it's okay. We have a magnetic bowl so that your studs won't fall out of the bowl when you're kind of picking which ones you want or fumbling around trying to get the right one in the shoe or taking them out later so you don't lose them in shavings or dirt or sand or whatever it might be. You can get this at actually a lot of hardware stores will have these in a couple different shapes and sizes. When I started out, I just used a good old cow magnet and stuck my studs to that, and that's pretty strong too. But then again, you can also lose them as they slide off. All right, I have my little poker dude, and this I use to get the cottons out of the studs after I plug them, and I need to get the cottons back out later to put new studs in. I'll use the poker part to kind of pry out the plug, and there's a little brush guy on the other end, and this you can get also most of the same places you can get your other stud supplies. I have a couple different types of wrenches. I used to have a different size wrench for each stud that I had, but as I got more studs, it was kind of silly to have a zillion different wrenches, so now I just have an adjustable one that is good for any size you want, and you can just get this at any hardware store. Alright, WD-40 is your best friend when it comes to studs, as any sort of metal will rust. WD-40 is really nice to have to loosen up the threads and help the studs to go in easier. I also have a little brush to help clean off my studs so that they don't get rusty and keep them in good shape. Some stud kits that you get will come with different wrench things for the specific studs that they have. This one has a spot for a square or an octagon or hexagon or whatever that is shape on that end, and then it twists open and has a poker here and a tap on that end. But this is kind of frightening to me to think if I was putting this in my horse's foot to get the dirt and debris out, and if he stepped on that could be really bad. So I like my safety spin tap the best, and it's well used because it's really, really dirty. So, all right, and last but not least, we have plugs. And there's lots of different kind of plugs out there you can get. There's the ones that I have in here are cotton, and they actually have like some kind of oil in it, so it helps keep the threads clean and prevent from rusting. And I had another sheet of plugs that are like foam, and you pop them out and use them, but I use them all up, and then I just cut the remainder of that little plate of plugs into pieces, and I will use those as well. You can also get like rubber plugs that you just push in, or there's actually like blank studs you can screw in, and they're just flush level, so they don't create any sort of traction or anything like that. Okay, so all of this gets shoved into this tiny little box of mine, which isn't very practical, but it's what I have.